So if you can't tell by my voice, I'm currently sick. That means that I'm craving something more comforting. And one of them is carbonara. So let's make it together. So today we're making a version of carbonara that is not too authentic and close to the Italian version because I do not have the proper ingredients. They're not very easy to find here in Vietnam, so we're just gonna make do with what we have and try to be as accurate as possible in terms of techniques. For today's recipe, you'll need 3 eggs, salt and pepper, bacon, Parmesan cheese, and for our pasta, spaghettini, which needs to be boiled for 5 minutes to reach al dente. Okay, so to a chopping board, we'll be cutting out our 3 slices of bacon. You can use more or less. I'm craving bacon, so I'm gonna use 3. Since this slice is pretty big, I'm just gonna cut them in half, lengthwise first. Layer them up, and I'm just gonna start cutting them. As you can see, the slices should be about this size. Once that is done, we're just gonna set them aside. Next up, we'll be preparing our egg mixture, and to start, we'll of course crack in our 2 eggs. Along with our 2 eggs, we're gonna add 1 egg yolk. Now with that, we'll start whisking up our eggs so that they become a nice homogeneous mixture. If at any point you see that there are still white parts in the egg like this, you can just add a tiny bit of water to help with the mixing process so that everything is nice. Okay, now we're gonna add our Parmesan. Now usually when you're making carbonara, you would like a mix between Parmesan and Pecorino Romano, but I can't find Pecorino Romano, so we're just gonna have to double the amount of Parmesan. And to that, we're just gonna mix them up. By the looks of it right now, I might want to actually add a bit more cheese. Now that that's done, our final step is something that is optional, but I'm just gonna add in our pepper at this stage. Now that we're done with the preparation, we'll start cooking our pasta and bacon. Okay, with me is a small pot with water filled halfway up, and we're just gonna turn on high heat for this pot and let it boil. While it's boiling, I'm also gonna add a bit of salt. It's about a hefty pinch. Okay, now that our water is boiling, we can just turn down the heat and let it simmer. Now that the water is simmering, it's also the perfect time to add in your pasta. You want to take about this much pasta, just enough to kind of wrap around your fingers like this. And we're gonna twist it up and release. Of course it wouldn't fit the pot properly, but after a while you just have to mix it in and push the pasta down. Now that the pasta is cooking, we're gonna switch pans and it's time to cook our bacon. So to a cold pan, straight in, and we're gonna crank this heat up all the way so that it cooks quickly. The reasoning behind it is that we want to time it so that by the time the bacon is done, the pasta is also done. So now that our pasta is al dente and our bacon is crispy, I'll turn off the heat, transfer our pasta, and start making the creamy sauce. As I'm adding my pasta, I'm immediately mixing it up to prevent the pasta from sticking to the pan. Next up, I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of pasta water. We'll follow it up by adding our egg and cheese mixture and immediately mixing everything together. You will know that your sauce is done once you can see a thick and creamy mixture like so. Now all that's left for you is to plate it up nicely and enjoy your own creation. Now, one thing I love about carbonara is, although it seems simple, the science behind it is really fascinating. The signature carbonara sauce comes from 5 different components: pasta water, egg, bacon fat, cheese, and heat. When fat and water are mixed together vigorously, they emulsify. To make the process permanent, we can use egg yolks. Lecithin inside yolks is a natural emulsifier that can bind our fat and water. The starch in our pasta water is also a crucial player. When heated, starch can absorb water and swell up. This causes the starch granule to uncoil into long tangled strings that can thicken our sauce. Cheese can help our sauce in many ways. Along with bacon, it is a source of fat for emulsification. When heated just right, the proteins of cheese disperse evenly, trapping fats and creating a smooth sauce. Now all of this can only happen with the right temperature. A pan that is too hot can mean disaster. Our egg will cook before it can even emulsify. The cheese will separate into its oil and curds, and our starch will lose the ability to hold water. Now carbonara can seem very daunting at first. Getting the sauce right is a challenge on its own. But with a lot of practice and attention to detail, you'll master it in no time. Thanks for watching the second episode of Baking Soda. If you have any suggestions of what I should make, let me know. Until next time, bye-bye. Parmesan and pecorino romano. Pecorino.